Whilst in Sydney on a recent coaching trip, I caught up with my good friend Nick Laidlaw, who's a movement and surf extraordinaire. Nick and I had been working really hard recently on our Surf Movement Flow series, a new course that's dropping on the Surfers Roadmap. I thought it'd be a good chance to talk about flexibility to help you guys know if it might be holding you back or helping you in the surf.
If you look at you surf and then you look at your range of flexibility, you can tell that it's not essential to be flexible. What's essential is to have access to range of motion. As opposed to be able to hold your muscles long in an elongated position for a longer period of time, it's more important than anything, elasticity and mobility. So if you can do that on land, pain-free, with a good breath and without tensing your body, access all the different positions that you'd like to in the ocean, you're going to have a much lower risk of injury when you're in the ocean. And your joints and your tendons and ligaments and all the tissue, it's just going to be used to what's expected of it.
Here he is, Mr. Nick Laidlaw.
Kale's asked me to share with him and share with you guys a few positions that I reckon are essential in order to maximize your experience in the ocean.
All right, number one, what is it?
How can we go from low to high with ease? So can we get in this crouch position? Look at this guy. He says he's not flexible. I don't know. He's doing pretty well. So can we comfortably? How close can we get our butt to the ground? You know. So can we comfortably do that? Do we have that flexion in our knees, and do we have that mobility in our hips, and do we have the decompression or the space in our spine to go from low to high? Like, it's about compressing, extending, staying light when you need to be light, because so much has to do with timing and finer senses. So it's not about being at the top of the wave and being really like pushing on your front foot. It's actually when you're at the top of the wave, you want to be as light as possible. When you're at the bottom of the wave, you want to be gathering all of that kinetic energy and seeing what we can borrow and what we can utilize from the ocean. Number two, how is our spine connecting to our body? So can we comfortably roll down and comfortably roll up, rolling the spine, segment at a time? Let me have a closer look. Can we do it one segment at a time? And are there any blockages in the spine? So I can see right here, and this is super common, Kale leverages a lot off this part of his spine. So this is rolling, 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 and that's a bit more like hinging. What you'd want over time is exercises to allow more movement of specific vertebrae, and especially around here. When you're paddling on a surfboard, your chest is up and you're kind of locked in for a lot of the period of time. But then when you get on a wave, there's so much rotation expected of you. So to be able to roll the spine and especially soften this lower back part of the spine is going to be essential. Doing this exercise alone is going to help that. And number three, and this takes a little bit of feedback. It does help to have some feedback, so another set of eyes on you. But you can tell yourself. For this is related to paddling. How can we raise our arms above our head without throwing our pelvis out of whack? Pretty good. Okay, so you can see. Do it real slow, Kale. When Kale gets to his hands paused there, everything's good. His spine isn't displacing at all. So everything looks pretty strong. Slowly keep raising. You can see when he gets to about here, his hips need to start moving forward and his ribs are trying to expand because he's quite tight up here. So some simple things to remedy this and to get more space in this. One is breathing through the belly, low and slow. The more we breathe up through the chest, the more we're tightening this part of our body. So the more we can breathe low and slow, the better. The more we can move with momentum, up and down, raise our arms above our head, friction free, the better. You think about paddling, we're forward, forward, forward. That's not a bad thing. The body doesn't mind being in poor posture, or in inverted commas. The body just doesn't like being in a fixed position for too long. So can we, after we go surfing or before we go surfing, move our ribs, move our shoulders, and move our whole spine?
Okay, cool. This is number 4.
So now we're going to have a little assessment on how does our body rotate. So we can have a look at this from a few different ways. First, if we were to sit, I don't know if sitting cross-legged is, look at him, he's a specimen, this guy. So how can we rotate from left to right? Because a lot of the work that I do is to prevent people from getting injured. It's like prehabilitation. It's not only helping people that have injured themselves, it's how can we prevent injury so we can keep having fun. So when I twist to look over my right shoulder, I feel a bit restricted in my left lower back. When I twist to go over my left shoulder, I've got a bit more freedom. What about you, Kale? Do you feel one side's got a bit more space?
Yes, my left has space and my right in the thoracic feels a little bit locked.
Yeah, okay.
I'm able to let the head go.
Yeah. How can we add rotation and do it pain-free? So a couple of just simple weightless exercises and just compare left to right. This is going to be good, and then adding a compression. Whacking the kidneys, go from low to high, and then feeling that pivoting of the foot so we can connect the foot to the pelvis, pelvis to the upper back. That's perfect, bro. And then we've got one more that I think would be worth assessing.
Number 5.
Number 5. How well can you transition from low position to a high position? Or from a prone position to a standing position?
You're so smooth.
Because so my theory on this may be different to other people's, and I'm not sure where Kale sits on this, but when watching or hearing of people talk about surf progression, they're always going, so when you get from lying down to standing up, go as fast as you can, make it really, really fast. So my idea behind that is more about making it smooth before we make it fast. So I try not to jump to my feet, because that kind of sends my body into a panic, and everything's just happening so quickly, and if you're tight in this area, your feet are not going to be in a nice position. So I try, as best as I can, to rotate and gradually slide to my feet, as opposed to jumping to my feet. And how does this apply practically in the ocean? You want to give yourself more time. So when working on transition from low to high, you're going to give yourself as much time as possible. So then, like Kale's doing, we're doing from one side to the other. And then you can even mix it up, so you can go like forward into plank position, we'll do it together, lower down to the ground. So this is combining a lot of factors. Opening through the upper back, rotating over the right shoulder, dragging the left foot forward, leaning onto the right foot, forward, left foot goes back, stretching ourselves out, forward into a plank. We'll do one more. Nice and low, elbows in. Untuck the toes, lifting the chest. Looking now over the left shoulder. Pushing with your upper body, right foot forward. Lean onto the left foot. Forward. Right foot goes back. Stretch it out into plank. Lower yourself down. Lift the chest. Good. And you can repeat that as many times as you like.
Ha ha!
Good work.
I'm sweating up a storm. Our new program, the Surf Movement Flow Series, is available at thesurfersroadmap.com, alongside your favourite courses such as the Ultimate Surfscape program, the Intermediate Surfers Roadmap, the Beginner Surfers Roadmap, and more. Be sure to check it out at the link in the description below. And I'll see you soon. The new Surfers Roadmap course, the Surf Movement Flow Series.
Hope you enjoy it, guys. Rip in.